What's going on, guys? How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to TLP Sports Club. You are now watching TLP Live. I am your host, Harry Billion. Thank you for clicking on today and joining me today on this live. I got a pretty good show for you today. Today, we're taking a look at the Big 12 and who are the top key players in the Big 12 so far. Colorado was tied for the regular season at number one. There were 4 teams that were tied. Colorado was amongst those 4 teams. And then obviously they lost out. So, but Colorado is still at the top of the Big 12 in 2024. So what exactly is going to transpire in 2025? All right. It's wide open again. Once again, 2024, the Big 12 was wide open. I think that's why a lot of the pundits, the prognosticators, those who, are familiar with the Big 12 and write about the Big 12, those who know the Big 12 pretty well, I believe they got it wrong because there were a lot of changes, conference realignment stuff going on. And it was really hard to just to kind of give them their due, right? It was really hard to pinpoint who were the Big 12 players. I think it's going to get a little easier now that the Big 12 kind of has an identity. You kind of understand now, since we got a full season with the 16 teams, you kind of understand now who's who in the Big 12. Not that they're going to be able to, or any one of us are going to be able to get it right. We have quite an idea, right? Because the way that things go kind of like the previous season, how the teams play. So you will have somewhat of an idea. But because of the way that things ended up in at the end of the 2024 season, I'm going to say that it's going to be very hard for the prognosticators, the analysts, the writers to really get this right. But what can I say? One of the articles or one of the platforms that I used in the 2024 season, in the preseason, to kind of like keep track of what was going on in the Big 12, has done an early prediction, and it's chunk full of information. So I want to use that information because this gives me an idea. Like these companies, they have research, they have vaults, and they have a research team that can put together information that I don't have, that I'm not privy to, or that I don't have access to. So that's why I use a lot of these articles or platforms. So today, for today's show, I want to use this platform, the platform I used before. I think in the preseason I used CBS Sports and KSL. I think it was KSL, but we'll see in a second. But they're doing their preseason early predictions or Big 12 power rankings. Now, the reason why I want to do this is because when you're doing the power rankings, you want to kind of figure out who's coming in, who's going out, and stuff like that. And that's really the information that I want. I want to know who's coming in, who's going out. And it does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of work to try to keep track of all 16 teams and try to figure out who's coming in and who's going in. So I'm really endeared to them. Like I think these articles or these platforms that have the research team and have the capability to pull together this information so that I can use it for what I do here on the show. So I say salute to them. I believe I'm going to get to a few teams, but I may not do the entire thing. So, but I'm going to do that in a video. So I figured I do put this type of information. I try to put it in a video because for some reason people don't rewatch the lives. They see the timestamp and they're like, 2 hours. I don't know about 2 hours, but when I do like the 30-minute, 45-minute-ish, kind of like those type of videos, people will watch them. So, and they're chunk full of information because this channel right here, I try to make sure that I educate throughout the preseason, so that at least you will keep track of what's going on in the Big 12 with Colorado, who they're getting, who they're losing, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, you're kind of getting highlights from everywhere. And this is the channel that you will come on if you want everything to kind of be concise or put into a video where you can get a lot of the information. This here is the channel that you do that at, okay? So you can go back and check my timestamp. That's what I do here. Like, I revel in the off season because then data is coming in from everywhere, and I love data. So yeah, so today is going to be a data show. Let's get into it. You know how it works. Join tlplive@gmail.com. That is the email that you're going to use to call in if you want to call into the show. You want to be part of the show. Just like my guy Tim from Dallas. Tim, Dallas is in the building. Tim is, he's a supporter of the show. He's always on the panel. He's very knowledgeable. He calls in. So if you want to be like Tim, just write down that email right there. Join tlplive@gmail.com. If my accent is kind of like, messing it up for you, you know how you join like the army, or you join something, you're going to join, and then you can put TLP, like Tango, Larry, Peter, which is T, Liberian, which is the country in West Africa, right? Close to the Gulf of, close to that little circle. And then P for perspective, the Liberian Perspective Live. So join tlplive@gmail.com. Write down the email if you ever want to call in. I will appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get the show started. It's going to be a good show because these type of shows, they help us to understand what's going on in the offseason with other teams. Because even though we are in a Colorado ecosystem, I like to educate, and I like to say, hey, open your eyes, go outside of Colorado for a second. We know that, what Juju's throwing the ball, Shador's getting ready with Cam Ward. They're getting ready for the NFL combines and the draft and everything. Shiloh's getting ready. So there's a lot going on. And also, former Buff Cormani McLean did get a scholarship from Florida. He finally earned a scholarship, even though it's kind of weird because right before the scholarship information, we got information that he was leaving Florida. And there was like 3 schools that he had boiled down to where he was going, and everybody was like, oh, go be great. And then either yesterday or the day before, they dropped information that he had earned his scholarship at Florida. So it's a little confusing, but at least, that's information that's out there. So it's a lot going on. That's what's going on. But I want to focus on today's show. Okay. I don't want to dig too much into how much Coach Prime is paying. I got a video out there. Go ahead and check it out. Mac, all right, Phil, I'll give you your due. Phil So Real, Mac Town's in the building, okay? Mac Town is in the building. Check it out, all right? Mac's in the building. You feel what I'm saying? That's right. All right, so we're going to talk about it. I'm obviously going to invite my panel on, and we'll talk about the different gets and who they're getting, who they're not getting. And we may not make it, obviously, when the conversation gets going, depending on how things kind of transpire. We may not get to everything. You know what I'm saying? So I know that, so if we don't get to everything, look out for the video, the official video that is just going to be specifically targeting this information. This is really good information that you definitely want to have. Okay. Now, let me handle some business real quick. Phil So Real says, put a smile on someone's face today. Be blessed. Chat. Phil So Real with the super chat. Phil, man, I appreciate you. Like you said, it is cold in New York, so you're trying to keep the lights on. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, this is a percentage of my income. It's not my. I don't do that. I do it full-time, but it's not my only income like it used to be because things kind of slowed down. So I had to go out and get another gig to supplement this thing. So, but I do work hard the same way I work at that other job. This is literally my second job. Okay. I think it's my first job. The other job is like a part-time job that I'm doing to supplement this. If you feel what I'm saying. Shirley Kimball, what up with you? All right, so guys, let's get going because there's a lot of information. I want to try to get to a lot as much as possible. I feel like I have two different audiences. I have my live audience, and then I have the people that watch my videos. My videos get a whole lot more views than the live audience or the live videos, the live stuff does. But because I try to respect the live, because there are people that come here and they are part of this community, and I don't want to leave those people hanging. But yeah, the lives are not as lively, right? The lives are not as live as the regular video, because I don't know. I think people think I'm staring at them when I'm doing the live. So they're like, is he looking at me? Is he talking to me? I don't want to see him. I just want to hear him. I don't know. It's psychological for certain people. So anyway, let's get going. And if you're going to come to the show, guys, remember, join tlplive@gmail.com. So go ahead and write down the email if you want to call in. We can discuss these things that are going on. All right. So before we get into the show, I want to let you know that because I finally found a way to get information out very quickly, right? Because doing these videos take time, editing, all of that stuff. I'm not as fast as other guys on breaking news and stuff like that. So now I found a way to really get information out there. So right on your screen, right next to me, I think it's right here, right in this area right here. All right. Right there. If you go to the posts where it says post on YouTube on the channel, this is my channel right here. When you go to the channel, this is it right here. You see my face right there. Go to the channel, you'll see post. It used to be called community, right? All right, let me just make it a little bit bigger. Let me make it bigger. Bada boom, bada bang. I'm right here at the bottom, so I didn't go away, guys. Hi, I'm here. All right, so look, this is post on the YouTube site, okay, on the channel. When you go to post, this is where you're going to find a lot of information. This is where I'm posting a lot of stuff. This is how I figured out how to get information out as quickly as they are hitting the wire. The wire meaning that it's anywhere on the internet that's coming out. My AI assistant that I have, anytime information comes to any notification of Colorado or college football or whatever it is, information that comes out, this is where that information is going to be posted. So check this out. It's been very effective for me. This one I posted about 4 hours ago. It says Football Scoop. The Big 12 edged the ACC in total appearances, 26-20. However, the ACC will argue the Big 12's appeal boils down to one factor, the prime effect. Colorado easily led both conferences with 11 total appearances, and the Buffaloes are responsible. Let me click on this. Maybe it'll give me the whole thing. There we go. All right. And it says that the Buffaloes are responsible for BYU, Kansas, West Virginia, and Utah's appearances on the list, and for Kansas State and Texas Tech's regular season appearances. The Big 12 did not have a non-Colorado regular season game crack the top 100, while the ACC had 4 such games. So I posted on there, I said, this is more evidence to pay prime, right? Because obviously, you know, if you played Colorado, you pretty much, you got your numbers up there. All right. So, but anyways, this is the reason why I posted that. The reason why I wanted to talk about that is because this is where I'm posting information that's coming out. Anytime I see anything that needs to be talked about right away, the Kwamani information is also here. Kwamani got a scholarship. It's also there. And then I post other college football information, like Notre Dame is losing some starters. It's kind of weird where a championship team, or a not championship, but like the national championship runner-up will be losing so many starters. Something happened, and they're losing a lot of starters. Bill Belichick gets a $350,000 bonus if he takes his Tar Heels to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. So, but anyway, so information. That's where I'm posting a lot of information, guys. So check that out. Make sure that you go to the post section or my communities page. Any information that comes out really fast about college football, all things college football, all things Big 12, but I'm also posting information there that I find to be relevant. So make sure that you check out that section. So let's go ahead and dig into the meat of the show. Let's go. All right, so here we go. Now, way too early Big 12 football power rankings for the 2025 season. All right, so this is how. What's the name of the? Okay, yes, it's KSL Sports. So KSL Sports is doing this information. Just like CBS and some others, they didn't do so well as far as what their rankings were because nobody knew. Okay, there was too many teams, too many new teams coming back to the Big 12. Like Colorado came back, and then some other teams were adding to the Big 12, and nobody had any idea. Now we have a little bit of information. Do I agree? This is the thing. Do I agree with this? I don't know if I agree. Like, I'll tell you if I think that this is going to hold up. All right? Because obviously, what you have is actually going to be their production in 2024. So you're going to rank them based upon their production in 2024. Me, on the other hand, I look at things a little differently because I find it to be a little lazy when you're just taking, who did really good in 2024? Let's rank them from how well they did all the way to the bottom with a few exceptions. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to be totally like how I look at it, but let's go through it. So KSL got. Let me make sure that KSL, because if I mess up their name. So KSL have BYU at the top. This is early stuff, okay? This is not trying to, I'm not doing this for rankings. I'm really doing this for the information. So this is the information right here that I want to see. All right. So BYU, they're going to be BYU's bringing back their quarterback. Jake did pretty well. Okay, I mean in that in that game against Colorado, he looked like the better quarterback. I don't know if you want to say it was because of the line, it was because he was more mobile than Shedeur. There was something about Jake Reslef's play that felt like he was more hungry than Shedeur. And I don't know. I don't know if you want to say hunger, but I just feel like I think somebody put in the chat that they felt like a lot of guys were making business decisions that they weren't playing to their fullest because they didn't want to get hurt, especially like Shedeur and other guys. Travis Hunter, obviously, he was pissed off at some of the things that was going on. So I don't know that he was making a business decision not to play. But again, I don't know why Colorado kind of like felt flat. They felt flat. The way I look at it, if you're going to decide to play in the game, then play in the game. Like, don't play with the fan base, because we're looking to y'all for bragging rights for a whole lot of things. I know that the bowl game didn't really mean much to y'all, but to us out here on the mainland, to us out here in these barbershops, we need this stuff. All right? We need this stuff. So, for whatever reason, they didn't play their best. So, Jake looked like he was the better quarterback, even though Shedeur was obviously, he's going to be first round draft pick, you know what I'm saying? So, maybe he took a break. I don't know. So, they're bringing back Jake. They're bringing back their running back, R.J. Martin, and then the wide receiver, Chase Roberts. Okay? And then they're also bringing back their linebackers unit. So, depending on how you looked at this game, depending on how you thought things went with BYU, if you think that either Colorado didn't play as well or BYU was really, I mean, at the beginning of the season, BYU was really giving it to a lot of teams. They were beating teams that Colorado couldn't beat. I think that they beat Kansas early, right? And I believe they beat Iowa State. And they didn't just beat them, they beat them like decisively. So what BYU was able to do in the beginning of the season, they should be able to do. They should be able to replicate a lot what they did because they're bringing back their leader. That's the quarterback, Jake Resliff, right? Their running back is coming back. LJ Martin is coming back. Chase Roberts is coming back. And then your linebackers, like if you're bringing back your linebackers is what stops the quarterback, okay? Those guys they're getting after the quarterback. And obviously your edges and stuff like that. But to bring back your linebackers, just to put it in perspective, I think we're losing Colorado's losing all of our linebackers. So key positions that they're bringing back, running back, wide receiver, just one wide receiver. Obviously, they're going to have to replace something. They're going to get more wide receivers. But I think, I don't know if I can say this is number one worthy, but because of what they're bringing back and the key positions that they're bringing back and how they were able to play in 2024, this could stick. I would say this could possibly stick because these are the positions that can win a game. All right, your quarterback, your running back, and your wide receiver and your linebackers, those are positions that can win games. So I would say this is plausible. I don't know about one, maybe two or three. I would say definitely top 5 BYU, right? Definitely top 5. But let's just keep them at number 1 at this point. And then KSL got they got Arizona State at number 2. Arizona State obviously was the shiny light in the Big 12. Excuse me, making the playoffs. I'm kind of like, I know they're not my team, but because they're Big 12, I'm very proud of what they did and how they put the Big 12 on. Very, very proud of them. Phil said this show would be full of trolls saying, do you even watch film? I'm not worried about them, Phil. Oh, man. Okay. So Arizona State. Why Arizona State at number 2? I'm not reading all of the, what they did in 2024, yada, yada, yada. What I want to focus on is who they're bringing back, who they're keeping. That's the information that I really want to key in on because I know that information is more important. All right. So who replaces? It says having Big 12 Offensive Freshman of the Year, Sam Levitt back at quarterback, and Big 12 Offensive Newcomer of the Year, Jordan Tyson returns at wide receiver, helps the cause. Okay. So who replaces Cam Scatterbull? Cam Scatterbull was probably their best player, probably one of the best players, best running backs in college football, period. Right? Because he was willing, like he alone was about to beat Texas. Things fall a certain way, and it's possible that they actually go deep. You never know. Like, that's the thing. You never know when, like, you get past your first major hurdle. I'm an NFL guy, so that's why I look at it. Like, when I look at it where it's like back in the day with my Washington Redskins, when they were known as the Washington Redskins. You're playing like an opponent that you like, oh my gosh, they're ranked number 1. You get past let's just say they're ranked number 3 or number 4. You get past number 3, and it seems like either you get new energy or something happens, and then now you can beat anybody. So I feel like you get past Arizona State gets past Kansas, and everything changes. So anyway, who replaces Cam Scalaboo? The early favorite is going to be the transfer coming from Army. His name is Kanye Udo. Kanye Udo, who rushes for 1,100 yards for the Black Knights. All right, so they got an Army transfer, Kanye Udo. and he rushed for 1,100 yards. That's not bad at all for a 1,000-yard back. So Arizona State's going to bring back a lot of key personnel on the defensive side. That's one thing that a lot of people didn't pay attention to. People did not pay attention to the right people, the people that should. They paid attention to Arizona State's defense, because obviously Kansas has a high-power offense. Not Kansas. I'm sorry. Texas has a high-power offense, right? So if they couldn't get past, they finally did in the fourth quarter in overtime, in double overtime. They that one play in the fourth quarter. Oh my gosh, it was like 4th and 13. 4th and 13. You make this stop, the game is over. Like, you're like, how good can their defense be when that one stop, like 4th and 13? My goodness, bruh. For three downs, 3 plays that could not get first down. And 4th and 13 is when they scored a touchdown. That's heartbreaking. But anyways, their defense is something to think about, because if they're bringing back key players on the defensive side of the ball, then that means that their replacements, you said, KMS said, stop giving Texas so much credit. They beat Arizona State. So they got into the playoff. They won their playoff game and went a little further. So whether they're mid or not, I mean, they are. It is what it is. If Colorado beat one team, we would have to give them the credit that they deserve. So now they got Arch Manning that's coming back, and he's gonna be their key quarterback now. So I like Arch Manning, but everybody, if you look on anybody's early 20 top 25 rankings, Texas is number 1. And I'm like, come on, Arch Manning, because of Arch Manning, I don't know. But anyway, I'm only giving them as much credit, KMS, I'm only giving them as much credit as they earn. That's it. I'm not giving them any more credit than they earn. But again, the SEC, and everybody was talking about them being at they were ranked high during the entire season. But Arizona State went in there and played. You get past Texas, and I think Arizona State wins another game, but you never know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, so does this number 2 spot where they are, is this plausible? Is this the right place for them to be? Being that they don't have Cam Scatterbull? Hold on. Because they want the conference, the lore of that can easily say, well, if they want the conference, they're going to repeat. But when you have a general like Cam Scatterbull, it's hard to say that you'll repeat what you did the next year if you lose your general, because your general is the one that willed them in a lot of games. So are they going to be ranked as high as number 1 or number 2? I don't know. We got to do a little bit more digging, but it seems like that Army transfer, if you look at an 1,100-yard back, Army is not one of those. It's not like, oh my gosh, they're they're not that great, or the competition is not as great. Because everybody talks about, oh, wait till Ashton Jeanty plays any good team. So I don't know how people look at Army when it comes to the competition they played. But if you're getting an 1,100-yard back from Army, what I would say is that is not a bad replacement. So Kanye may be a good replacement for Cam Scatterbull, but this is the thing we got to think about. Is he a general? He's an Army guy, right? He's an Army guy. Well, he will people. Well, he will his team. Is he the type of back like Cam Scatterbull would take his team and put the team on his back and carry it over the line? I don't know. Don't know if you guys remember when Cam Scatterbull made that at the end of the game. He made that one run. He kept running, right? And then when he stopped, he looked up and he had this look in his eyes. And I said, OMG. Like he had this general look that look. And it was like, yeah, that's the type of guy that you want on your team. And I asked you, did Colorado have anybody like that? I don't know. I don't want to start picking at y'all. I don't know. Okay. I think it was, I think, was it Travis? We may have had somebody like that. It may have been Travis because he gets pissed off when you don't do what you're supposed to do. So it may have been Travis. I don't know. All right. So are they at number 2? I would say definitely top 3. ASU is definitely top 3. Don't know about 1 or 2, but they're definitely top 3 in 2025. This is way, way early, okay? Now, we're going to Iowa State as number 3, all right? I'm not doing all the yada, yada stuff in the beginning. You feel me? The information I want is who they're bringing back, who they're not, who they're losing. All right, the Cyclones accomplished something they've never done before. Keep that in mind. Never done that before. Never won 10 games before, okay? This is new for them. They capped off the season with a win in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which if Bill Belichick can go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl, then then he'll get the 350. All right, now. Rocco Beck gears up for his 3rd season at the Cyclones starting signal caller, okay? Now, he is going to be losing his top pass catcher, or pass catchers. He's losing Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. Okay? Now, is that any relations to the Higgins we know? Anyways, leave that alone. However, their top running back, okay, they got the top running back, Carson Henson and Abu Sima, they're returning. Okay, this is key. So, Texas is legit. TS said Texas is legit up front, and an argument can be made that they could have won it all if Ohio didn't spend $20 million, even though Georgia beat them twice. Texas wasn't mid at all. Yeah, I think when you're talking about mid, I don't know. I think it's more like barbershop talk, like regular football talk. I don't think KSM meant mid, right? Like, because a team like Texas being mid, I don't know. I'll just take it like jousting. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those words you just throw out to try to get a reaction from somebody. But if you really dig deeper, like, were they really mid? Nah. not by far fetched. Not at all. I don't think they were mid at all. But let's look at this. I don't want to do this. I'm not going to do all 16 teams. Like, again, look for the video that actually has all 16 teams that gives you this information, and I'm going to give you all the information. But this is the type of information that I like to look into. All right, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for somebody to do the research, and I'm so glad that KSL did the research. So all the guys at KSL, appreciate y'all. All right, so they got Rocco Beck is coming back. All right, their quarterback is key. All right, that guy has Big 12 experience. That is key. We're losing our quarterback, our signal caller. Your quarterback is the guy that sees everything. He's seeing the different defenses. He's seeing the different schemes that you're going to throw at him. You try to confuse him with this, confuse him with that. And y'all can let me know, y'all who know football a lot more than I do, y'all let me know, does the defensive schemes, are they replaced every year, or do they like give you something similar with a different look? Like, I don't know. Obviously, it'll be smart to replace them because you don't want to give the same looks, right? But a quarterback that has already seen like what the Big 12 is going to throw at you, that's experience that you need. That's like the utmost experience. And then they're bringing back their running back. The Big 12 is a big running conference. You got to run. Colorado was the only team that we know that wasn't really running the ball, or like just flat out refused to run the ball. Okay? Like, we're not running. We don't care. We can throw, and we're going to throw at you all day. So now they're bringing back Rocco Becht. They're bringing back they're losing their two key wide receivers. They're bringing back the two runners. Is that enough to say that they would be number 3 in the Big 12? What do y'all think out there? Does that equate to number 3? Some of the key components that I think, how good was their offensive line and their defensive line? Are they bringing those guys back? Or at least a handful of them. The Cyclones have 5 home games, and only 4 on the road next season. Okay, that's key. That is very key. Cyclones have 5. Cyclones have 5 home games and only 4 on the road next season. Why is that math not mathing? What am I missing? Isn't that 9? 5 plus 4 is 9. What am I missing, guys? Can somebody help me out here? What am I missing? That's only 9 games. Okay. Maybe it's one of those things. I don't know. A big question is offseason. Okay, good. This is a big question. Is this year after landing a lengthy contract extension where head coach Matt Campbell makes a run at vacant NFL? Okay. So he might be out of here. Okay. I thought it was a question for stuff that they may be missing. Okay, so let me interpret this information. Running backs, good. Running backs are coming back. Quarterbacks coming back. That's good. But does that make them number 3? I don't know that that's enough for number 3. That may not be enough for number 3. I don't know. Don't think so. Because the teams that did not do well are gearing up to make a comeback. Teams like Oklahoma State. I think West Virginia is going to be really good this year. So I don't know. Excuse me. I'm going to be ranking the Big 12. I'm also going to be doing my own top 25 and some early information. So, and I'm going to keep my eye on the communities page, and I'm going to try to track it to see how I do against like guys that have been doing this for a very long time. They obviously use a different criteria than I'm going to use, but I believe that my information is probably going to hold up more so than a lot of their stuff, because I got a ghostwriter. I got a ghostwriter. That's my ghostwriter. I trust my ghostwriter. All right, so number 4, they're ranking Kansas State at number 4. Kansas State at number 4. They better have a good reason to be ranking Kansas State at number 4. All right, let's find out. What is it about Kansas State that's putting them at number 4? All right, what does he say? It could be easy to look at K-State's 2024 season as disappointment, but then you look at the final record and see a 9 in the win column. That's not easy to come by. Okay, I agree. The Wildcats have reached 9 wins in 3 consecutive seasons for the first time since Bill Snyder's memorable run from 1993 to 2000. Okay. If K-State is going to get back at the top of the Big 12, Avery Johnson has to be great. Okay. In 3 of K-State's 4 losses, he had at least 2 interceptions and completed less than 60% of his passes. So what it's seeming like is K-State is a young team that's bringing back that retain a lot of their players. And Do I put them at number 4 in the Big 12? It could be easy because, again, the Big 12 is just like one of those conferences. KMS, what you talking about? Nobody played nobody, but who was somebody? Yo, that's one of those. That's one of those questions that make you go, huh? But that's what, like, y'all don't know that. That's deep. All right, that question right there is deep because sports fans do this thing, right? Sports fans do this thing where no matter who it is, it's nobody. So I'm not trying to explain your deep thought, your very deep thoughtful thing that you said there, but I just find sports fans to be very funny people. Where Texas is mid, and you're the one that said you were the same person that said that thing. So you're funny too. But yeah, I think nobody's. If everybody's nobody, then who is somebody? That was pretty good, KMS. I give you a little hats off. You know what I'm saying? Hats off to that. That's good. If everybody's nobody, then who is somebody? That's a good one. You gotta put that on a T-shirt and give me half credit. All right. So, all right. So let's go back to this now. Do they deserve to be at number 4, or is this going to stick? Again, because this Big 12 conference is so wide open, it's going to be very hard to rank these and to say who's going to be who. I believe Kansas State is losing their number 1 running back. So now I think this is Dylan Edwards and Avery Johnson's the two best friends. This is going to be their year. Now, is Dylan Edwards that guy? This is arguable. This is where we can make an argument, right? Is Dylan Edwards that guy? It's very hard argument to make because he's a good back. Let me put myself back on this screen here. Hold up. It's an argument that you can make because how could I say this? Who is his comp? Who is Dylan Edwards' comp? He's a small back. He's real shifty and he's quick, but he's small. So it's not like nobody's bouncing off of him. He's not throwing nobody back or nothing like that. So would Dylan Edwards and Avery Johnson make the difference and make them number 4? I think losing your number 1 quarterback, your number 1 running back, I think they got to do a Coach Prime. You got to, since you got Dylan Edwards is coming up and you got some younger guys that's in there, they're good players, but you need more veterans. So they may have to go out and get a veteran running back that can help Dylan Edwards out. Because I don't think I've heard anything about if their running back had declared for the draft yet, but I think that was his last year. So yeah, you need more veteran. You need a veteran running back or somebody who's much bigger, beefier that can run like their number 1. So being at number 4, I don't know if this is number 4 stuff. Don't know if I can sell him at number 4. They do have good running backs, so Avery Johnson being I guess And what's funny is, their backup was just in the national championship. So it's like, all right, so is Avery Johnson enough? And their team is young, and what they were able to do this year, does that justify top 4? Does that justify number 4? I can't call it. But if they're losing, if they're going to retain Dylan Edwards, they're going to retain Davion Rice, and then DJ Giddens is out, then I think DJ Giddens made a lot of difference with their team, but then again, their defense was solid. So top 10 maybe to be number 4. Can't call that one. Yeah, K-State did. But that's the thing. That's the crazy thing. He didn't work out for them, but it's like if you take Howard, right, and he doesn't do what he did. No. Yeah. Look at it like this. It was a blessing in disguise for Howard, because Howard on a different offensive line, the results are different. The results differ. You feel me? On a whole nother team with a whole nother attitude, whole nother mentality, leadership, all of that stuff matters. It all matters. So I don't think you can take. Let's flip it. Avery Johnson replacing Howard, right? Do y'all think? All right. Do you think that Avery Johnson in Will Howard's place gets better results? It's very possible. With the leadership and with the team that is around him, very possible. Same thing can go with any other quarterback. I know that chemistry and stuff like that matters, but it's if we're going to do that thing that we do as sports fans, I don't know that it's fair to say. Because with a line like that, you don't need a superstar. You need a serviceable quarterback, like DC always says. You just need somebody serviceable, somebody that is a little bit mobile and that can throw the ball. And that's usually what happens. And that brings me to this thought right here. I just feel like Shedeur should do one more year with a different team. Oh man, like I just won. I like somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, I want Shedeur and Travis Hunter to go play for another team without Prime. Like, go get away from Prime, go play for one of these top teams with a good line, with a good defense. Because complementary football is a thing, right? If the defense is working, it gives energy to the offense. If the offense is working, it gives energy to the defense. So I want to see my guys on a team where both sides are legit. Right? Just 1 year. Just give me one year. That's it. All right. After the football season, y'all can go away. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to. Just leave the university, but just come back, because I want to see it. I don't know why. I just feel like, dang, can you imagine Shedeur on a team that is like, that got some hogs, like some legit hogs? Shoot, like, man. Anyway, let's go away from that. Woo, and then they can run the ball. A team that can run the ball. Shedeur is going to be daggone good in that NFL, boy. That kid should have been to the NFL. because the NFL is going to run the ball. This ain't no, oh, we're going to throw the ball forever. No, the NFL, Shador's team is going to run the ball. And what I'm telling you, Shador's numbers are going to be crazy because once you start to run the ball, oh boy. All right, so let's go over. Let's number 5 is going to be Texas Tech. All that yada yada stuff, I'm skipping. I'm skipping all the yada yadas. I just want the good, the solid information. Tell me what's solid. Who they keeping? Who they not? All right, so here we go. So Joey McGuire led Texas Tech to 8 regular season wins for the first time since Mike Leach was head coach last year. The Red Raiders haven't had that breakout season yet on McGuire, but one thing is clear: he can land talent. Okay. According to 247 Sports, Texas Tech has the number 2 transfer portal class nationally. Many of Texas Tech's talent transfers are reinforcements in the trenches. Okay. All right. With Georgia Tech transfer Romello Height and Height and former UCF standout Lee Hunter as some of those notables. Okay. This is one thing that I want to see from Colorado as well. I want to see the reinforcements in the trenches. Almost like bring in as much talent as we already have and force those guys to step their game up. Challenge them. That's what I want to see. I want to see some new blood, some guys that's going to come in there and be like, just like Khalil said last year. Yeah, last year. He was like, I'm here to take your job. I want to see some attitude. But we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about Texas Tech. All right. Okay, so they're bringing in some transfers to reinforce the trenches. Okay, so there's something to monitor this offseason is how quickly QB Baron Morton recovers from his shoulder surgery that occurred in December. Plus, who will replace Texas Tech's all-time leading rusher, Taj Brooks? Sophomore Jacoby Williams would appear to be the favorite as he earned the start in the Liberty Bowl. All right. Okay. Texas made an impressive hire, landing Shield Wood away from Houston to be the new defensive coordinator. Okay. So let's decipher this information right here. So, Wild Dog, what up with you? So Edward Ano Jackson. Who's Jackson? Avery John. Who's Jackson? Wild Dog. Well, he ain't no Giddens, that's for sure. He ain't no DJ Giddens. All right, so look. Texas Tech QB Baron Morton has he has to recover from shoulder injury. Those shoulder injuries, I am no doctor and I don't know how long these things are going to take. But with a shoulder injury, depending on which shoulder he had the injury on, if it was on the throwing shoulder, that motion, that could take some time. And usually, and sometimes you recover or you're good to go, but your mentality, like mentally, your mind is still on that injury and it still affects your game. So they're getting back their QB, but he has injuries. So does that really justify the number 5 spot for Texas Tech? All right, KSL, I don't know what you're doing, but would y'all put Texas Tech? Oh, you going all the way back to Bo Jackson? God, I'll tell you. Garciano, what up with you, man? Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was more like Saquon Barkley with the horse thighs that when he gallops. Yeah, Dylan Edwards is his comp. I don't know who his comp is. I have no idea who his comp is. I think his comp is probably a wide receiver, a small wide receiver. That's what I'm thinking. I can't think of anybody that's his comp because his body size is like he's quick and he's fast. So that means you got to give him the ball outside, like in space. But he ain't about to take nobody on and like make him fall down. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking like he needs they need a veteran. All right, so okay, so this ranking right here, I would not say Texas Tech would be, if they're ranked number 2 in the transfer portal, but they don't have a leader. They don't have a quarterback. Their quarterback is hurt. He's injured. That's a setback. That's a setback. So I don't know if I put them at number 5. I'll move them down further, and I'll tell you why I move them down further. I can't tell you who I'll put them in yet, but I'll tell you in a second. Baylor at number 6. This might be a good spot for Baylor, but let's find out why. That's the guy in the thumbnail. I kind of adjusted the thumbnail a little bit, so. All right. So Baylor had one of the best offenses in the Big 12 in 2024 and pulled off an impressive turnaround, closing out the regular season on a 6-game winning streak. The turnaround kept Dave Aranda as the Bears head coach because Dave Aranda was on the hot seat. He was one of those quarterbacks that was about to be fired, along with the BYU's. Did I say quarterback coaches? Along with the BYU's coach. So they were on the hot seat about to get fired, and they had to win, but they won. Now they've shown they can return on a winning track. How can they break through and get back to the top of the Big 12? The ball performance against LSU wasn't great. However, quarterbacks Sawyer Robinson was a star from the Bears in 2024, and he's back along with the running back Bryson Washington and former walk-on running back Josh Cameron. Okay, this is important. For those of you who are not aware, Colorado and Baylor. They played that Miracle in Boulder game. Colorado came up on top. I feel like that was one of those telling games for Colorado. That kind of switched. That was a key moment in Colorado's 2024 campaign. After that game, it gave them a boost of energy, and and obviously, things ended up the way that they ended up. Because we could be having a whole different conversation about Colorado's 2024 season. You beat Kansas and that's it, man. All you had to do was beat Kansas. Man, Baylor, back to Baylor. I'll be having these flashbacks with Colorado. All right, it's just like, oh man, this was your best option, your best chance to really like take control, because you had like several number 1 NFL players on that team, and I felt like something y'all dropped the ball, Colorado, man. This was it, man. But Baylor was a tough team. Baylor reminded me of NDSU. NDSU, the champion, the FCS champions, the 2024 or 2025 champions. I think they played their championship game in 2024. The 2024 champions. Wild Dog says, "Don't rank us like CP said. Put us at the bottom." I'm not ranking these. I'm using this for who's coming back and who's not. But I'm also kind of like playfully saying, well, if this is where it's going to end up, just because I'm gonna do my own rankings this year. I think I have. I think I know enough now to rank these teams. Me and my ghostwriter, we got to go to work. I'm gonna post it so that it'll stick. I'll pin it somewhere so that you can see how I do at the end of the season. So Baylor is gonna be one of these teams. I'm gonna say it like this. I think Baylor is top 5. So Baylor, I will probably put Baylor above Texas Tech. You feel me? I will put Baylor above Texas Tech because I believe that Baylor is going to, like, what they're able to do in 2024, what they were able to do. I think they're gonna come out playing the way that they played at the end of 2024. That's how they're gonna do. Tim, what up with you, man? Welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about yourself, Harry?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So I'm trying to so as far as what today I really wanted to dig a little deeper. I wanted to provide some data because now we're officially in the off season. You feel me? Like this is where I think this is where we kind of dig deep into the data, right? Because it's all about gets and losses. That's what this boils down to. So I'm trying to interpret this. If they bring back Sawyer, their QB, and they bring back Bryson Washington, so it looks like they're bringing back their two running backs. What they were able to do in 2024, what it looks like. I'm thinking they're going to be top 5. What do you think?
I mean, what they retaining, I think they can possibly crack that top five uh, spot in the Big 12. With the way they played last season and what they retaining, you know, vice versa, what they may grab out of the portal and in high school recruiting in their backyard. So I could see them in the top five.
I'm thinking Baylor's going to be top 5. Baylor made a lot of they quietly made a lot of noise. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I think they quietly made a lot of noise at the end of the season. And when people weren't paying attention, they were doing a lot of great things, and they almost beat Colorado, and that was a great game. And that I think they needed that loss from Colorado. I think that Colorado loss at the end of the game made them finish the way that they finished. So that game was helpful for both teams. Colorado won and gave them a lot of confidence. Baylor lost, and it made them feel like trash, and they just went on a and they just felt like, okay, we can't let that happen no more. Ain't gonna be no more miracles. Ain't nobody gonna be getting no miracles from us. And I hear you, Phil. No off seasons. Just no. This is the non-playing. This is the non-playing season. Okay. So this is not an off season. This is the non-playing season. Now, okay. So Colorado is at number the early at number 7. Um, Again, this is not a ranking show. I'm not necessarily ranking them, but that's a good number for Colorado. That's a good place for Colorado to be. Now, here are the comps, or here are the things that Colorado is. This is how it works for Colorado. Getting a quarterback like Juju Lewis, this is the future. This is how I see it. This is the future. You bring in a veteran quarterback like Caden Salter, and he's a rental. He's a U-Haul. But Tim, do you see him like going for grad? This is senior year, right? Do you see him going for grad also if he does well his senior year?
Um, that's kind of hard to say, but for the sake of the conversation, I would say that if he has a good season, why not go to the NFL? If you have a good season and you don't like where you sitting at in the mock draft, then Yeah, play another year as a grad transfer somewhere else. So that's what I would say to that statement
Oh,
or
but
questioning.
you just said somewhere else, meaning like bring in Juju Lewis in year number 2 and let him go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I guess for me, I guess for me, he's not a Julian Lewis is not
He
a Arch Manning where I feel like he's gonna sit there for 2 years or 3 years like Manning did for to earn that starting position. That I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. I don't think his patience will allow him to. Not only that, his father that talks highly of him.
well, I mean, you don't need if you are a good or great quarterback. You don't need many years at the college level. You can literally just do like you can do what's number 4 on the Ohio Buckeyes?
Howard,
Is his name
the
Howard?
quarter the quarterback.
No, number 4, the receiver.
Oh, Smith, but he still got to play 2 more years before he can enter the draft. He
So
can't
for
come out next year as a sophomore.
college and NFL is 2 years or 3 years.
College, I mean, yeah, college to the NFL is 3 years in football.
Okay,
Basketball, that's
basketball is
different.
1 year.
Yeah, you can be one and done if you good if you think you good enough.
Do you think they should bring that one and done in college? Does that
No,
work?
no,
Or
I
for
don't
like
think.
health reasons?
Yes, exactly. It's a lot more physical, a lot more faster. I mean, just think about it. You 19 years old, or say for instance you are Julian Lewis, you 17, you start. You have a great season this year, just hypothetically speaking.
Yeah,
Um, he starts, he have an amazing year, win the Big 12 championship, then go to the pros at 18 amongst 28-year-old men, and he'll get he can go out there and get his career ended in one game.
yeah, that's true.
So it's health reasons.
That is true. Yeah. So, but how do you feel like this is earlier? This is not a ranking show, but what do you feel like, or how do you feel about Colorado being at number 7? I like it.
I mean, with the amount of talent that Colorado is losing to the draft, yeah, I like their positioning. Some of those games that some of the people that are above them, like Baylor,
Uh huh.
K State, BYU. Um, is Tech? Didn't you say Texas Tech was above them as well?
Texas Tech is number 4. Number
Okay,
5.
yeah.
Number 5. Sorry.
Okay,
K
Texas
State is
Tech.
at number 4.
Okay, yeah. Like you didn't beat K State last year. Uh, they're losing some people, but um,
Is Giddings going to the NFL? Did he
I
get
think
declared?
DJ Giddings is going. I think he is in the draft for
Okay.
this season. But you know, Baylor took you to overtime. So I mean, and this is with a Shador, this is with a Travis Hunter, this is with Wester and Shepard and all some of the other guys, Jimmy Horn, BJ Green. They losing a lot of talent. So we don't know for sure what some of this talent is going to look like. Texas Tech emptied the clip,
They did.
you
They
know.
did.
So I mean, for what it is right now, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, like somebody said in the chat, hey, put them at 10, like I did this previous season.
Well, I mean, this is not a ranking show, and I don't know that these rankings are going to be indicative of how the season goes, but it's kind of fun to just talk about it. I think is I think no. I think 7 is a good place for Colorado based on what they're losing. Again, nobody's ever gonna be able to get these correct like on the dot, and we don't necessarily really know how the players that we're obtaining are gonna, how they're gonna pan out. One thing that I'm for sure is like the excitement level is not the same. The excitement level for like production, I'm gonna try to do a video where I go deeper into the data for the players that we're getting. But the excitement level is not the same, and but Colorado's doing what we can do. But the thing is, look, we got leadership. So I would say Caden Salton. This is the highlight for Caden. He can run and he can throw. That's the thing. That's Colorado needed a runner and a thrower. Because I think Colorado becomes more dangerous if Shador is a runner also. You feel me? Like if Shador's a runner also, like, oh my goodness. It's like the whole time you're sitting there, you're like, dang, Shador, just step outside of the pocket, bro. Like, stop going back. I get nightmares just thinking about Shador and his play. I'm like, there are so many plays in 2024 that I say, if we can get that back and show Shador, if he was to step outside of the pocket, we get that first down. And our season it looks different. But he stayed in the pocket and then took 2 steps back. By the time he tried to come forward, it was too late. They collapsed on him. And I was like, oh. Oh. But now we're getting Caden Salter. The question is, will he be running for his life, or will he have the protection he needs to do what he has to do? That's
I
a
mean, I think from what I see is I think he's gonna be running for his life if Pat Sharma does not change a lot of things in that playbook and get very creative with this playbook. So as of right now, based off of last season going into this season, yeah, I would say, yeah, he's gonna be running for his life, which is a good thing for because he can run. We have a running quarterback
right.
of his caliber, but the only thing about that is other teams can catch on to that quickly. Uh,
Yeah, those DCs once they understand, okay, so we know that he's gonna run and he can run, then they start once they start shutting that down, it's a wrap.
exactly. And didn't you say Houston's defensive coordinator going to one of them schools in the top 5?
Yeah. Yeah, Houston's coordinator, I think, is he going to Texas?
Texas Tech.
Where was he?
Well, you know what? It doesn't really matter because
Right.
it's early. But
It's early, yeah.
uh,
That's
Houston,
wait. Yeah, it's Texas. Yeah.
yeah. So Houston had a good defense last season. Uh, and going to Texas Tech, man,
Yeah. I,
that's gonna be something.
I think Texas Tech smelled blood and they're answering questions that they needed to answer. Um and they're gonna surprise some people. Texas Tech is really like they're gearing up. I don't know if you call this guy Shia Wood or Shia Wood. Shiel Shia Wood. Is he Jewish?
I'm
So
not
okay,
sure.
so Shia Wood from Houston is going over to Texas Tech to be their defensive coordinator. Um, Colorado, their biggest thing right now, I think Colorado did really good with Caden Salter and then having Juju Lewis. So this right here. This is having leadership. I'm still trying to. I don't think to be fair. I don't think I have Colorado figured out yet. I can't be too prognostical. I can't be too prognostical with Colorado because I haven't figured them out yet. But I will though. I will
I haven't either.
Yeah, because I think the data is going to tell us. It's going to tell us. We lean heavily on the data here. Once I get a grasp on who we got and I can dig into their background and find out who they are, I think then I'll understand. Right now, I don't have them yet. I don't know yet. So we'll leave them at 7, and we'll say, okay, Colorado, how they mix in with the Big 12. I don't want to say anything crazy about Colorado yet, but
the Big 12 is going. The Big 12 is wide open
again, bro. Again, they're still wide open.
They still wide open, but what we can lean on is who's retaining their quarterbacks, who retaining their running backs, their receivers.
Yeah.
Arizona still got their quarterback. Arizona still got Tyson. Tyson didn't. I don't think he played in that game against Texas. So that's a big, huge factor, man, of what he can do.
Wait, what you mean Arizona State?
Yeah, Arizona State. I don't think he played in that game against Texas. So he was a major factor along with Scatterboo this season on the success of their team.
Wait, he was hurt?
If I'm not mistaken. I don't think
word?
he played in that game, man. So, I mean, that's big. You know what I mean? This kid has been lighting people up. So, in my opinion, Arizona State is still going to be good next season, along with BYU, along with Iowa State. Iowa State is good every year. This is even when Texas and Oklahoma was still in the Big 12. They give people problems.
Okay.
So you can always look for them to be a contender, but TCU is going to be better than what they were last season. Texas Tech, like we just stated, they opened the clip, man. So
yeah, Texas, bro. Let me play this little video right here. I think Texas Tech, they dropped a little video on their little. But anyway, you talking about Sam Levitt, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Sam Levitt. So okay, so Sam did not play in that. I didn't know that he didn't play. But
not Sam. I'm talking about the receiver, the wide receiver.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the quarterback.
No, not the quarterback. The wide receiver for Iowa State. I want to say he had over 1,000 yards receiving. Don't hold me to it, but I don't think he was one of the ones that didn't play.
Really excited, really cool yesterday.
Did he come from Colorado, that wide receiver?
Wait a minute. From Arizona. Wait, who are you talking about? Which team?
Arizona State wide receiver.
I know wasn't there a couple of guys that went from Colorado to Texas? I mean to Arizona State?
Yeah.
I know Alto was there, right?
Yeah, Alto McCaskill, yeah.
But Alto didn't even smell the field, bro.
No, he didn't. But that wide receiver, I think that wide receiver, when Coach Prime cleared out everybody his first year at CU, I think he stayed for a little while, then he transferred. And he went to Arizona State, and he did a great job at Arizona State as far as making a name for himself.
Yeah. But so far the way I'm looking at it, just like you said, I need to see who you're bringing back in the key positions. And your leader coming back is probably one of the most important, right? Your leader, meaning your quarterback, is coming back. Your quarterback, okay, so BYU is bringing back their quarterback. They're bringing back LJ Martin, which is their running back, and then Chase Roberts, their wide receiver. and then they're bringing back their linebacker unit. So now another thing to also like point out is, what do you think happened with the little down thing that they went through? What was that about? For some reason, like a certain part, like they were undefeated, and then all of a sudden, they just had a little drop off. Was it fatigue? Was it fatigue, or what do you think was going on there?
I mean, I think that it happens with all teams. If you're not mentally locked in each and every Saturday, you can get beat by one of the sorriest teams in your conference, all because you may overlook them or think that they're not going to come and play.
Right.
So anybody can get beat any given Saturday or any given Sunday if you don't come to play. Colorado had a good winning streak until they ran up against Kansas.
Yeah,
And
man.
Kansas hit them in the mouth. You know,
well, Kansas, was it Kansas State or Kansas?
Kansas, University of Kansas.
Oh, okay.
When they went to play at Kansas City.
That game,
the Chiefs.
Yeah, that game that what was that, Arrowhead?
Yeah, Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah. The one we had to win. The one we had to win, we lose. But look, they're bringing back their quarterback. They're bringing back their running back. So I think this is plausible. I think them, being able to repeat what they did, BYU, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, Arizona State is bringing back. They're losing Cam Scatterbull, but they're replacing him with Kanye Udo, and he's an 1,100-yard back from Army. So
that's a nice get.
That is a nice get. That's what I'm thinking, because you're getting back Sam Levitt. You're bringing back your quarterback, which is your leader. You're replacing Scatterbull's production with 1,100 yards. That's not bad at all, even though what conference is Army in? Is this a group of 5? I think it's. I don't know what conference they're in, but I think the competition is not bad, because I think Army was ranked for a bit, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyways, you're replacing Cam Scatterbull's production with 1,100 yards. So, I can definitely see them having some similar success. Iowa State, like you said, Iowa State is always giving people's problems, so they could be top 5 for me. Now let's go. Colorado was number 7. TCU. TCU is going to be one of these teams that they had a quiet 9-4. In the Big 12, they only lost 3 games. They were 6-3. Geraldine, thank you. They're in the AAC. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's all good. I'm curious to see who decides to work with select QB. So TCU had probably one of the most quietest win seasons in the Big 12, and they played well. I don't know that anybody was paying attention, because it's like, I think their fall from grace was just too swift. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. I don't know. If we were to say, okay, how is it that teams that come from the Natty, they don't like? What is the actual record for teams that come from the Natty and then don't do anything? Last year was Michigan, right? Michigan was in the Natty, they disappeared. The year before,
Ohio State though.
But is it enough to just say to beat Ohio State? Because if you look at the trajectory, right?
Mm-hmm.
2022 TCU, they get blown out in the Natty, disappear the next year. 2023 Michigan, They win it, disappear in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What's going on here?
Well,
Do
you got a lot of players going to the TCU that season. They didn't even deserve to be there in the national championship, but they cried and pouted, and they let them in. But
But
and
what do
we
you mean
see,
they deserve? How can you say they didn't deserve? Weren't they undefeated?
yeah, but they
So
wouldn't a better program, and you clearly seen that in when they faced Georgia in the
Georgia,
national championship.
Yard man, what's up with you?
But you got Michigan when they won the national championship. They lost a lot of players to the league.
So the hard question that I always have is, okay, wait a minute. So you're telling me when you win a national championship, don't people come running to you? Or no, that's not how it works in college football.
I mean, you're recruiting Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. Those schools are recruiting like you posted. 50 something 4 stars and 7 and 13 5 stars. So, but you don't know how that's gonna pan out. But it looks good for the university, the type of talent that you are bringing in. But uh, winning a national championship, um, only school that I really seen do it consistently or be up there in the playoffs, it was Alabama.
I feel like teams right now Notre Dame is losing starters. I mean, so then you got to start asking the question: are we even going to see Notre Dame? Like, are they going to be a TCU? They're going to fall off. The fall from grace is going to be just like the same. Like, what's really going on with that? How do you fall off when you go when you go to the championship, win or lose it?
Mm-hmm.
You would think the way that college football goes is that parents are trying to like put their kids in the limelight, because obviously if you're just 1 year off the championship, people are like people want to go there. Most of these kids want to be part of that championship run that you had, or they want to at least try to see if you can repeat it.
Right.
But you don't necessarily get that. Like after the championship game or after the championship year,
Mm-hmm.
teams fall off.
Okay. What about those players that you're losing to the NFL? What if some of them have maybe another year, but they decide to go into the league? Now you got to jump into the portal and try to replace those with the same type of talent at the same type of talent level that the guy that you're losing. So if you're not able to retain every piece that you may be losing, then your season may not look the same as it did the previous year.
But don't tell that to Colorado fans.
Well, they'll be able to see it this season.
Right? When we try to make sense out of how this stuff works, it's only Colorado fans that think, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do even better, even though we're losing draft." Like if you look at like, okay, the quality of players that we're losing, right? You're losing like potential 3 first round draft picks. And I said potential, right? Because after Shador and Travis, one of those guys I feel like could be going first, whether on the defense or they grab somebody else. I'm thinking first round, but you're losing a lot of production. Yes, you're gonna bring in good players, and it's almost like you thinking like we're saying, oh no, Colorado ain't gonna be nothing. No, when you lose that, like look at Michigan, right? This is only 1 year removed from a championship campaign. They went 8-5, which is not bad in the Big 10. They went 8-5. But I mean, if you go to the chip, if you win a championship the year prior, I'm thinking the guys that are okay. So then this brings up this question, and Tim, please help me out. And anybody else in the chat, help me out. You know how we're always talking about, oh, how these teams got so much depth and they're stacking 5 stars and they're doing all of this. So then after the draft and after the season, why is it that these teams be falling off so far down? Maybe it's one of those naive questions that I don't mind asking. All right. I think Phil's in the chat trolling today because he can't come on.
Well, think about this, Harry.
Uh-huh.
BYU. I mean, Arizona State made it to the playoffs, right? And almost upset Texas.
Uh-huh.
But they're losing some of their key players, right, to the draft.
Yeah.
BYU, they didn't make the college playoff, but they got them ranked above Arizona State preseason prediction of what they think they're going to land
Right.
in the Big 12.
Okay.
So you can have all these teams in the Big 12, but it's what they're losing versus what the other teams, where are they at, where do they lie as far as players going to the draft or
Right.
players leaving their programs. So if you don't, if you're not able to identify with that, and then yes, you're gonna fall off. If Michigan had a lot of players, good players, go to the league, and then those players that was may have been sitting for 2 years, now they finally got their opportunity to play, it's not gonna pan out like the starters that were there already. So
that's true. But let me just give Phil his time because
okay.
he did pay his time. He said Tim is a hater. Like I said, he's in the chat trolling today because he can't come on. He said Tim is a hater and never believed in CU. I don't know why he's trolling right now. I don't know. He's trolling because he can't come on. So he's like, I'm going to be in the chat and I'm going to troll today. So
yeah, he probably snowed in down there in Alabama still.
You know, he sent me a message. I know why he's not coming on, but he's just trolling today. Anyway, we're gonna let him troll. We're gonna let him troll. But no, but my question, I don't know if you answered my question though. I want you to answer my question.
Mm-hmm.
The question was, we always talk about DEPTH and all of these teams that are supposed to be stacking. You did kind of answer it, but I want you to see if you can touch it again.
Mm-hmm.
If you are supposed to have depth and all of these things, and the Wild Dog did say that Michigan lost their head coach to the NFL and they lost some other players to the NFL, like you said too. But all of these teams, right? After a year, a lot of them fall off.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it NIL that's doing that? Or is it the portal that's doing that? Because I don't think the fall off pre-NIL, pre-portal, I don't think the fall off was that much. I think if you went to the Natty the year prior, if we're talking legacy terms, then you came back and you got close. You may not win it back to back, but you got close. It wasn't like straight up falling off like a TCU or a Michigan. So that's the question. Like, is it an NIL thing? But why is it that if we talk about depth and all these teams, these legacy teams stacking 4 and 5 stars, why is the fall off so swift?
I mean, those guys, even though they got all these 4 and 5 stars, they still may not be seeing the field game time. They're not able to get game time. They're getting practice time, but they're not getting full game time in their
which is important,
position.
right?
Huh?
Which is probably more important than anything else.
Yeah. So if they're not seeing game time and they're only seeing practice time, that's totally different. So, uh, yeah, they may be showing glimpses and everything, and they may be a 5-star, but that doesn't necessarily mean okay when your time come up that you're gonna be ready to go. You know what I mean? So I think the portal has a lot to play with it. Uh, Coaches and their staff, I think they have the most important role of keeping those players there. Because if they leave, if they brought them in, sometimes a lot of programs gonna lose their kid or kids. So, and if the head coach leave, man, it can be a disaster. Think about when Nick Saban left Alabama, majority of the roster was ready to jump ship.
I mean, they were able to hold it together with duct tape and some crazy glue.
Yeah,
But
thanks to Nick Saban.
right, because he had to convince a few guys to stay put. But you know who it affected a lot was Arizona. When Jeff Fish left
Exactly.
Arizona, I don't. So it's like, okay, do you associate Arizona's success with Jeff Fish, or do you think it was their running back and I think with a wide receiver that they lost? Because Noah Fifita still had T-Mac, so the fall off was just seemed too vast. If it just felt like there's no way the coach was that important.
Yes, the coach was that important because that coach, if he had his own staff and say for instance you're a player, you didn't adapt it to the way that they do things. You familiar with the playbook and the style of play that you like to play, and your coach, y'all working on the same page. Now you got a whole new coach. Maybe I didn't look into their coaching staff. I'm just assuming they got a different OC. Now
all new schemes.
Yeah, so now it throws off everything for your players. You know, so the head coach, it matters.
How did Jeff Fish do? Let me go back to the standings that I just had on the screen. I wonder how Jeff Fish did it with Washington. He went to Washington, right?
Yeah, he went up there to Washington.
How did Washington end up this season?
They wouldn't like that championship team that they had the year before last.
Oh, so well, at least they went to a bowl game. There was 6 and 7.
Yeah, they barely made it.
Yeah,
but they lost a lot of players to the portal, and they lost a lot of players to the draft. You know, they lost their quarterback Penix to Atlanta.
Right.
They top receiver he went to the league. I don't know where he's playing at, but I know he's in the league.
Did Penix see the field? Because I know that he's shadowing right now. Did he see the field?
I think he's seen the field a little bit, but it ain't much.
I know the standout. Who do you think the standout would be? Would it be well, obviously is is the Commanders, right? And then I think coming in a close second would be Bo Nix, right? So you got Daniels and then you got Bo Nix.
Yeah, Daniels is he's on
lights out. Yeah. He's a Lamar Jackson. He's a fresh Lamar Jackson Cam Newton type.
I think they're gonna beat the Eagles.
It's hard. You know what? I'm so split because now I'm like, okay, you got I'm a DMV guy, so I'm naturally trying to go for the Commanders, but then again, man, I'm looking at Saquon Barkley. He came from the Giants, and I want him to win too. So now I'm split because I want him to win because everybody that leaves the Giants, man, I'll be so pissed at the Giants that I want them to do so well. It's this psychological game I'm playing with myself. I want them to do so well to just say, to rub it in the Giants' face, to say, see, I told y'all should not let that guy go.
I mean, I think the Giants can clearly see that right now, but
yeah, but I wonder,
without them winning the whole thing.
No, you got to win the whole thing, then it hurts more. You got to put the dagger and then you got to turn it. It's not just because if you take the dagger out, they can heal. You know, you got to put it in there and you got to turn it so it can take some limbs out, or you can take like some arteries out.
Dang, Harry, you violent, man. You put the dagger in, then run over him with a car.
Yeah. That's what I want to happen. That's what I need to happen, man. Because the Giants, man, oh my goodness, bruh. It's just like a Cowboys fan. Like, bruh, you got to go through this thing. Like every year, you got to go through this, man.
I don't mind seeing the Cowboys going through it because I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Well, I know Cowboy fans, boy, every year they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they're always disappointed. I think they go through more headache than the New York Giants fans. We kind of like, we're in New York, so we're the best of everything in the world. So it's like we can relax. But if all you got is the Cowboys, it means a little bit more for y'all. For us, it's like, okay, we got everything here. We got Times Square. We got we got Wall Street. Everything is here. Okay,
we got the Mavericks. We got hockey. We got baseball.
But that's it though. What else? Like if you take sports away from Texas, what y'all got over there? Oil fields?
Nah, man. Like
what y'all got in Texas?
Man, we got a lot of stuff, man. We got
name them. Don't say we got a lot of stuff.
You got Six Flags. You got
Six Flags. Look, listen, you can't name Six Flags.
I mean, y'all got.
Is that a water park or is it just?
That's Hurricane Harbor.
Okay, y'all got Six Flags. What else y'all got? Okay, first of all, the argument is over if you say we got Six Flags. Okay,
I mean, we don't have Times Square though. We don't have a Times Square at all.
No, I know that. I know.
But what other cities have a Times Square?
That's what I'm saying.
Besides, okay, New York got what?
Everything. We got everything here.
Okay, y'all, you only named Times Square. What else?
What do you mean, what else?
Yeah, exactly. What else do y'all have?
I just have to say New York. No. That's it. I don't have to. Huh?
What? The sizes of y'all slices of pizza? What else besides Times Square?
We got everything. The Statue of Liberty, bro. We got everything here. We got Wall Street. We got the Statue of Liberty. We got Times Square. We got New York. We're New York. If it's like y'all are like,
I give it to you on that.
Come on now, come on.
Rats and everything.
We love the rats. The rats have names, okay? They have their own bank accounts. Okay? The rats are banking with Chase, okay? No, but it's like there are places that are just sports. Without the sports, y'all would be done. I think in Texas, y'all got sports and that's it. Because I think Texas, aren't y'all like the number one in like, what do they call the something lights? Saturday night lights or something like that? Aren't y'all always like big in like football? That's why if you get like a player from Texas.
Oh, Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights or whatnot. So y'all got sports. Any of these big places with sports, y'all should be like the best of the best. I understand why New York in sports, because look, we play on concrete, bro. We play on blacktop. Our kids, the games that our kids play, they're not playing it on grass fields. They're playing it on concrete, on blacktop.
Yeah, I know. I actually got my window busted out because they were playing baseball in the street.
There you go. Like, yeah, we play. we don't have
for real.
We don't have fields, so we're playing on blacktop. Oh man! So our kids like, because I'm both from the suburbs, from the south, from the suburbs, and live in New York now. But it's like, at the end of the day, man, the suburbs is about sports. That's where you get like the, you know what I'm saying? My little brother, he went to Youngstown University and played for them, but he was in Jersey. He was not, on blacktop. He played in Jersey, and he got a scholarship to Youngstown. I try
That's
to
what's
tell,
up.
I try to give him the sauce to get to the NFL, but you know those kids. I said, look, I'll give you what you need to do to get to the NFL. He didn't want it. All right, man. We are at the end of the show. Colorado is in a unique position. Um, a lot of the creators, Tim, are saying that Colorado is going to be one of the top teams in the Big 12. Do you just loosely do you agree to that?
Um, I'm trying to think of what I'm basing it off of.
Hold on, before you answer that, Wild Dog said Texas has unique botany. Is that something y'all want to claim?
Have unique what?
Botany.
Uh, I
Y'all
don't
want
know
to
about
y'all
all
want to
that.
claim botany as something that I know y'all got barbecue, but how much can you eat? I mean, right?
I mean, you'll be amazed, man. Dallas has a lot. You know what I mean? I get out, but I don't get out like that.
Bro, we old now. We're not
Yeah.
we
Especially with
old.
all these young
We
kids, they tripping.
yeah, yo, we old now. We're not doing all of that. We may have the Statue of Liberty. I ain't going.
I travel.
Yeah, bro. I ain't going nowhere. I'm chilling. But anyways, yeah, answer that question so we can get up out of here because I gotta go.
Can you repeat it one more time, please?
Yeah, so a lot of creators are. I don't know if it's a lot of creators. Let me clarify to say a lot of Colorado creators. All right, let's just make sure that we put that on. We
Yeah, they hype, bro.
yeah. So I think it's the thing though. I think that's the Colorado creators.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's like, oh, you have to keep the Colorado fan base around. They have to do this, but again, we're hype again, or they're hype again, and
I understand it.
they're zealous, and they're trying to either excite the fan base or keep the positive energy going.
Hmm.
So they're saying that Colorado will be the among the top of the Big 12. I just wanted to get your thoughts before we leave today.
Um,
What do you think about that?
I mean, with what Colorado's losing and these other teams, what they retaining, uh, I it's a possibility, but as of right now, at this point in time, I don't see it. I really don't. Even though you bringing in a quarterback from Liberty, but now he's going to play at the Power Four level. Things speed up a little bit more. Uh, and I'm not really sold on him. I want to see more of the kid. A lot of people ain't talking about that Eddie George bought in that quarterback. To me, he's my day one. He's my dark horse. I put it to you like that. So uh, I don't see it, man. I don't see them winning the Big 12. I don't. Not with that O line.
Is Colorado going to be competitive like at the top like we were? Because I mean, Colorado is number one. I mean,
That
you obviously have to consider the other number one teams, but we were number one.
we just talk about that fall off, right?
Yeah. You got to consider the fall off because of
Okay.
the leftovers in the left.
Right. So that fall off that we were just talking about, and they got them listed at number 7 after the spring, what they may bring in, if they able to bring in anybody, uh, then I can make more of a realistic uh analogy. But as of right now, that number 7, it suits them well. And I see some teams that I'm not gonna say it, but could possibly be ahead of them too, like a TCU.
I think this is not no hating or anything like that, but I think the bottom half of the Big 12 can flip this year. and it's only because of the strength of the teams that are at the bottom. It's just it's strange what happened. It's so strange. I don't know why it's why it happened the way it happened, but I don't know if it's real. I'm almost scared, right, Tim? I'm scared because I feel like if those teams produce the way that they were supposed to produce, then the bottom half of the Big 12, the Utahs, your Oklahoma States, your Kansas, right? Like maybe not Houston. They really did deserve to be at the bottom. I don't know about Arizona or UCF, but your Utahs, your Oklahoma States, your Kansas, your West Virginia is supposed to be good too. But yeah, I just feel like it's going to flip. And once it flips,
Mm-hmm.
then the top half, it's almost going to be recorrecting or correcting itself the way
Mm-hmm.
it's is really supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because this could be like maybe a Cinderella year for
Mm-hmm.
the top half. I think it's possible that this could have been a Cinderella year for the top half. Because the thing about these coaches, Oklahoma State, Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
Utah, especially Utah,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way Utah is sitting at the bottom of the daggone Big 12.
I
No
mean,
way.
Utah, they losing people, people jumping in the portal. Oklahoma State, you know, they they're I don't know, man. They got the guys jumping in the portal over there. You got Houston. Houston lost their defensive coordinator. You know, I
No,
don't.
no, but
They're gonna
Tim,
stay
look,
at the bottom, in my opinion.
you think Utah would stay at the bottom? I think the portal is going to
Yeah.
always portal. The portal will portal, but when you have strong programs like the Utahs and the Oklahoma States, the Kansases, these
Mm-hmm.
programs are solid, solid programs. Like they're led by solid people. To see them at the bottom almost scares me. Like something happened here, and this is like a Cinderella year for some of these teams, and I'm not sold. Like call me crazy, but I'm not sold for the top half of the Big 12. I'm not sold, bruh.
You're not. What teams
No, I'm
are you
not
not
sold.
sold on? Like
I ain't
like in the
sold on
top five.
Arizona State. I'm not sold on BYU. I ain't sold on Arizona State. Maybe Iowa State, kinda. I ain't sold. Uh, Colorado had Shador and Travis,
Mm-hmm.
number one draft, like first round draft picks in the NFL, right? I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
we can make an argument for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm. It's gonna be fun to see though.
That's the best thing you said. I'm trying to tell you right now, this is gonna be like it's gonna be one of those seasons where you just like, okay, who the heck wants it? Like that's why I
Exactly.
put that, that's why I put that on the thumbnail. Who wants it?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this, Harry. Georgia Tech, and this for the chat too. Georgia Tech game is gonna show you. To me, it's gonna show me everything that I need to know moving forward with CU. That Georgia Tech game is gonna show me everything that I need to know. Cause it's
But
either you
I
gonna
I'll
come to play.
I could push. Let me push back on that.
Mm-hmm.
Why I think it's not going to show you everything you need to know.
Okay.
To tell you the truth, like before I even say that, let me ask you why you say that's going to show you everything you need to know. Why?
Because the reason I say that because those teams, BYU, Arizona State, Kansas State, TCU, maybe West Virginia, but though TCU, Kansas State, Iowa State, BYU, those are going to be games that Colorado is going to have to win if they want to win the Big 12. They would, in my opinion, give Georgia Tech a better game than CU based off of what I'm looking at, what CU's bringing in and what they are losing at
What's
this point.
The toughest game on the schedule for you? What is the toughest game on this schedule?
The toughest game?
Yeah.
Any of those conference games will be the toughest games.
Don't do that. Pick the one team that you know that you're like, yo, this is gonna be the the most toughest game that Colorado plays.
I would say Georgia Tech. I was going to say Iowa State.
We didn't do their comps yet, though. I didn't look into Georgia Tech. I don't know who their leftovers are, who they're losing, because I don't think they have superheroes. I think they just had an overall solid team, and if that's the case, then it doesn't really matter who they lose.
They had a balanced team.
Yeah, because if you have a balanced team, and you know you're going to run the ball, then you lose pieces, but you can replace those pieces easily.
They're going to run the ball.
Right. And then we know Colorado can't stop the run.
Now look,
I don't know who. Go ahead.
I want to throw this at you. You even talked about how creative Georgia Tech is, right?
Oh my goodness. Whew. Okay, boy, I love their offense. Oh my Lord.
Okay, right. Now,
whew,
take what BYU did to us in the bowl game, what they create when the things that they were creating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we didn't know which way to go, left or right. You know what I mean? It was obvious. You know what I mean?
Okay, but hold on though. We're getting them in season though. We're not getting them in a bowl game where people. We're not getting them in a bowl game where people might be making business decisions. Because that may affect the outcome of the game, or it may affect the texture of the game. When guys are like,
them out of the 25 spot.
Huh?
It can knock them out of the AP 25 spot.
What do you mean? The Georgia Tech game?
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I'm not worried about rankings, to tell you the truth. I'm not so worried about rankings. I think Colorado is better off not being ranked. Unless maybe it was a Shador and Dion thing where this is the reason why I'm not worried about rankings. I'm not worried about rankings because I feel like their attitude changes when they play from behind. You feel me? Like when people tell them that you're no good, they play better. So that's why I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it was a Shador and them thing, right? Maybe that was the thing for them. And these young men, like the new bloods, are going to be different. But if you praise these kids, they're terrible. If it's them and against the world, they play so much better. So that's why I'm like, don't rank them. I think people should just talk trash. I think Coach Brown should pay people, especially like some of the creators, to just talk trash about this team. Like, just say they're terrible so that they can feel like, oh, yeah, okay, y'all think we're bad. Y'all think we're not good. And then they come out and they play well. Because it's like, if you praise them, they come out and they play trash. They start feeling themselves like, oh, yeah, everybody's saying we're the best. And then next you know, it's 17-0. You're like, oh, great, here we go. It's gonna be a long 2025.
What? Let me ask you that question. What
Yeah.
team are you think is going to be the hardest game for them?
But I already told you Georgia Tech is a problem, okay? I don't know if we survived Georgia Tech at all. I think TCU wants revenge. Utah, again, Utah. I don't know if you think Utah's going to stay at the bottom, but Utah, if they get their mojo back, problem. Always problem. I'm not sold on BYU's. The BYU's, I'm not sold. I don't care. Oh, come on, like, really? Houston, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Iowa State is the problem. I mean, we gotta be careful with Iowa State.
Hey, let me ask you a question. What team always gave Texas problems in the Big 12?
Always, you said?
Yeah, for the majority of the time.
What you mean, like 2022 and forward, or when?
Go back.
Oh, I'm not a legacy guy, so I won't be able to help you with that. Yeah. Maybe if Phil and them were here, they can help you. But
BYU was one of those teams.
But hold on, no. Texas and Oklahoma were Big 12.
Correct.
So you're talking about the Big 12. Who was giving them the problem in the Big 12?
Yeah, when they was in the Big 12, when Texas and OU was in the Big 12.
I don't know, but what didn't you tell me that it was Iowa State or something?
Well, it was BYU and Oklahoma State.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. BYU is not one of those teams that just trash.
Well, no. But BYU, who else? From the information that I got, it was BYU and Baylor. They were on the hot seat. Kalani was about to lose his job.
Right.
And the Baylor coach was about to lose his job. I forget his name real quick, but he was about to lose his job. So, but you mean like they're giving them problem as far as like, oh, they may have had a good game, but not like you're not saying over the years, right?
Well, what I'm saying is it's a dog match every time they would face off. Even though Texas would win, Texas knew BYU. They couldn't come into BYU and just overlook them. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, we finna run through them. No, you ain't gonna be able to do that. Oklahoma State was the same thing, but I don't know. I don't think Oklahoma State gonna be good this season.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm telling you, man, things might look a little different. It's been weird. 2024 was weird, man. I don't think that anybody should take 2024 and be like, oh yeah, 2024, like it was legit. I don't know. I'm scared. I ain't saying nobody didn't deserve it. I'm just saying it wasn't real. Something was wrong. Something was really wrong. But BYU was not Big 12 though in 2024. I mean 2022. Where were they? Because I got TCU, West Virginia, Iowa State, all these. Where was BYU? This is 2022. Let me go to 2021. Big 12. Where's BYU? No, BYU. Where was BYU? Yeah, this is weird. They weren't ACC. Yeah, I do not. Conference USA? Not anywhere here. So when did it join? Was it 2023? Let's see. There they go. They started 2023. There goes BYU.
So they did 2023?
Yeah. 2022, no BYU. They went 5-7 in 23. Like I said, that guy was about to lose his job. I think that was one of those videos that I did when I was trying to like figure out who was who. But yeah, BYU, they were terrible. Baylor, BYU, they were all terrible at the bottom. Cincinnati, Houston, 23. This is how it was. It was
So you don't
Cincinnati.
think? Oh, go ahead.
No, it was Cincinnati, Houston, Baylor, BYU, TCU. They were all at the bottom.
So who do you got? What was Cincinnati ranked uh, in that list that you posted earlier?
Let's go to it real quick.
I know you running over time. My bad.
Oh no, it's all good. I'm still good. So Utah was number 9. I think they're gonna be a little higher. So it's looking like Cincinnati is at the bottom.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, they got Cincinnati. Dang. Hold on. Let's find out why. What did they got? The good news for Cincinnati is that the QB Brendan Schwarsby is returning along with first team All Big 12 and Joey Royer, who broke Travis Kelce's Cincinnati record for most receptions by a Bearcat tight end in a season. Okay. Okay. So why do you have them? After defeating eventual Big 12 championship Arizona State on October 19th, Cincinnati closed the regular season on a 5-game losing streak and missed a bowl game again for the second consecutive year. Okay, so they got Cincinnati down at the bottom just because they just don't know how to end a season. That's basically what they're saying. They're saying Cincinnati, 2 years in a row, they have not figured out how to end the season. They may start off good, but they don't know how to end the season. That's what they're saying here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and that could be in like when you if you break down the information like that, that kind of like leans to makes more sense than other teams that they say should be at the bottom. Because now it seems like it's something that it's more kind of like indicative of how they always going to be. You feel me? I guess when you take the top 10 or the top 5 teams, those are a little bit harder to do. When you get to the bottom, you kind of see a pattern. Those patterns are going to tell you more so like, okay, they're going to, Houston is not going to be good. Houston is going to suck. But the Oklahoma State being at 14, now this one is a little hard to say, okay, I know that this is going to be like that. That part is a little hard to do.
Yeah, Oklahoma State at the very, very bottom, but
at number 14 in the Big 12, like that one is hard to say. It's like what?
I'm gonna go look at what they keeping and what they're losing. I'm gonna do some digging on them.
But go to that article. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the article. I'm gonna put the link to the article in the chat, so you can have it. You can just copy it from the chat. I don't know if cool. It's easy to copy, but I'll put it in there. But Oklahoma State, let's see what's the information. It says, okay, the first matter of business for Gundy was hiring coordinators. Okay, so they had bad coordinators. Doug Mitchum is Oklahoma State's new offensive coordinator. He most recently worked as an inside wide receivers coach at TCU. Okay, TCU didn't do too bad. All right. And coached with Gundy before. All right. From the defensive coordinator spot, Todd Graham was hired. He was a defensive coordinator at Florida, Mississippi State, or Louisiana, Georgia, and the Cleveland Browns during his coaching career. Okay, so they're not really on this one, they're not really telling us the leftovers and the guts. That's what I like to look for, that information. But it looks like they had a coordinator problem. So maybe because in 2024 they were bringing back their offensive line that did so well. I mean, their defensive or offensive line that did so well in 23. So that's and then their quarterback. So and their quarterback and their running back. So you would think like, okay, that was enough, but then something transpired. Maybe the coordinators didn't work out, and that's what hurt them. So, anyways, all right, Tim, let's get out of here, man. Thank you for spending your time with me. I appreciate you. What's your final thoughts? Let's get out of here.
Hey, thank you for having me on, Harry, man. I can't wait till this spring jump off to see the spring game. I think I'm gonna take that trip to see you this season
Oh,
because I
you
want
doing
to
the
see
spring
it.
game this time?
Yeah, I may try to make my way out there. I'm gonna go to the East West Shrine Bowl game uh, and check that out too as well. So, um, great show, Harry, man. I always appreciate you having me on, Doc.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it, man. So y'all look out for the video, the complete video for the Big 12 breakdown. I'm actually going to go a little deeper than these guys. I really want to get the leftovers, the who they're losing, who they got. I really want to get a concise list. I'm probably going to do top 10 because I don't know if all 16 teams deserve my time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if all of these 16 teams deserve it, but top 10, you kind of understand. Once you get from the top 10 at the bottom, unless they do something that's going to be like abnormal from their behavior, from their previous behavior, who cares? So, anyways, guys, I'm glad to bring the information as I get it. If you see anything, you hear anything, email me, jointlp at G. What am I talking about? jointlp at gmail.com. jointlplive at gmail.com. That's the email. So Jay said, I'm going to eat crow this season. I don't know, Jay. I'm pretty accurate here. I don't know, Jay. It's hard for me to eat crow, Jay, because I dig into the data pretty well, Jay. You know what I'm saying, Jay? Like, y'all got your other channels that y'all like and stuff like that, but I'm pretty accurate here, Jay. So I don't know, Jay. It's really hard to eat crow when you eat so much data. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do that, okay? My Colorado record was 8-4. They won one more game. Okay. They went 9-4. That's pretty close, Jay. When you come one game shy, you're pretty good, Jay. I'm just saying, Jay. Well, dog, you still crying about Texas? Come on, man. We're comparing New York and Texas. Texas is great, but it ain't no New York. Okay, California is great, but it ain't no New York. Dubai is great, but it ain't no New York. Everywhere is great, but it ain't no New York. You've been watching the old videos, Jay? I said 5 and 6 wins. Was it me or my panel? I don't remember any time I said Colorado is going to get 5 and 6 wins. You said if Baylor didn't throw that game, I would have been spot on. Baylor didn't throw no game. What I remember who threw the game was Shador. I said 5 and 6 wins. I think 2023, I said Colorado was 8-4, which I still believe they would have been 8-4. There's some things, existential things. And then 2024, I said I'm sticking with 8-4. So I don't know what clips you're gonna pull. I don't remember saying 6 games. I don't remember. Maybe I did. I doubt it. My memory serves me well. I said 8-4. We went 9-4. So that listen, man, I'm always right here. Okay, let's just put it this way. I'm more right than wrong here on this channel because I comb through the data. I may not have the research team, but I comb through the data very well. So, and my analysis is pretty spot on. So I don't know, Jay. I don't know. I've heard all about New York for decades from neighbors who left New York never to return. Oh, damn, Wild Dog. Why you had to do us like that? Why? People leave New York because they get tired of all the fun, okay? New York, I guess, you don't raise children in New York, okay? He said never to return. Hey, how you do us like that, Wild Dog? When you leave New York, you got to go far away, okay? Because it's too much fun here, okay? Don't mess with Texas. It's too much fun here. When you leave New York, you want land. You want mud. You want to feel how the earth feels under your feet, all right? Because this is when they say the concrete jungle, when I tell you our kids are playing on the concrete, I'm not joking. That's real, okay? Okay, but yeah, when you leave New York, you want to head south and get up out of here. Go all the way, go all the way out of here, okay? Because it's too much fun. We got too much to do here. So I ain't messing with Texas. Y'all got Texas. But just so you know, I wasn't trying to pick on Texas or anything like that. And I know that Tim didn't really defend Texas, and I didn't have anybody else on. Tim is probably as old as I am, or even close. I'm sure I'm older, but he wasn't here to defend Texas. I know I should have had somebody that was a real Texas person to defend Texas. I didn't mean to put you on Texas doesn't have blizzards. I didn't mean to put you on the defense. All right, Wild Dog, but you stood on business, that's for sure. All right, guys, y'all have a great and wonderful weekend. All right, I will see y'all on the next video or live. Get it? See y'all or see you on the next video or live, and look out for the other videos that I put up. Peace out, guys. God bless you. Thank you for joining me today. Peace.